What's going on, guys? James Rest here from Marketing Secrets for Electricians, and today we're talking about the problems customers have with us, the electricians. What are they complaining about? And yeah, just the top 9-10 problems that I've researched and had a look at, and let me know if you agree. So, here's what I hear a lot. How do normal electricians like us, who are properly trained and licensed, who are not willing to cheat and take shortcuts, and who are wanting to own a successful electrical business, how do we compete against the big guys who own the market share, or the guys that charge peanuts for an electrical job? On top of that, we want to employ the best electricians so we can get off the tools and have plenty of time for other areas of life. That's the question. Join me and follow along as we search for the answers. My name is James Rest, and welcome to Marketing Secrets for Electricians. So in the previous episodes, we've talked about the customers and their problems, and today I'm just going to go through the problems that I've come up with or researched and found, and so we'll run through them step by step. So the first one, I think, is, well, the most dominant one is we don't show up, or electricians don't show up when they say they would. And this, for me, I've won numerous jobs just because I was the electrician that showed up when I would show up. And this is like the first step in the marketing. It's like doing what you say you would do. If you can't make it, don't make the promises. And this is kind of where we can use that in marketing. So you can go, hey, if I don't show up, I'm going to give you $50. Like, that might be the solution. So the customer knows, well, and that this electrician, if they don't show up, they're going to do that. And then you honor that and use that as a testimony to help you with your marketing. So that's number one, and see how we're going: problem, solution, and using that in the marketing. This is kind of the three-step process that I want to go through. Number two is bad quality of workmanship. And I've also had this, I've had contractors or electrical contractors under me who have done shonky jobs. So, they put up the lights and it's just like crooked, sideways, leaking, water gets in, all these type of things. And I have the customer call me up and go, hey, what are you doing? Like your guys come here and the place is, all the lights are crooked, weak and wobbly, and what do you do? So the solution to this is guaranteeing your work. So reassuring the customer all jobs are held to a high quality of standard. If you're not happy, we'll come back free of charge to do it. So that's kind of like having a guarantee, having testimonies, having case studies, having references to back that up. So, and then you can use this as your marketing. So you can go, hey, have you ever had a shitty job done by an electrician? Well, don't worry, I've got you covered. We've got a warranty of XYZ. We also guarantee to do this. If you don't, there's other things. Just what can you use in your marketing to help reassure or take that pain point away from the customer? Next, we have not doing what they say they would do. So not doing what, if I said I'm going to install 2 power points for $200 and instead I only install one, obviously that's like a problem. So having things written down, and this is also a matter of just communicating your expectations and their expectations, having it written down on a piece of paper. So for example, when you're writing a quote, you don't do 4 PowerPoints. You go 1 PowerPoint in the kitchen, 1 in the living room, 1 in the kitchen, one weatherproof PowerPoint outside, and you're setting the expectation from the start. And so that's the problem, solution, and using that in the marketing. This could be a video you could go on and you could show how you write and communicate your work. So it's a matter of gaining trust with the customers or potential customers that see your message, and producing content that they can see. So this is before they come, you go to their house and you meet them. We want to build that relationship well and truly before, and I'm going to go through and I'm actually going to do a Facebook Live on each one of these points, pointing them out, talking them, getting people to interact and seeing which one they think is the worst, and maybe there's others that they are getting themselves, and they can also add to the top 9 I've got at the moment, but that could be more as we go on. So the next one is does not answer the phone. This is a huge problem for solo electricians. So one-man band sparkies, if you're on your own, you're in the roof, your phone is like in the car and you're working away in the house, having a voicemail isn't the best answer to that problem. Essentially, having your own virtual assistant is, I think personally, a big benefit for your customers. And maybe you can't do it at the start, but it's something to aim for, because it's not as expensive as hiring someone full-time to sit there and do nothing, but having someone who can, like a contractor who just answers the phone and books the jobs in, or just reassures the customer, yes, we will be there at this time, or they know what's going on, so they have someone to connect with and talk with your company or your electrical business. This is important to build and gain that trust of reliability. So I call and just someone answers, just so I know that you're there. And you can say that, hey, we have a full-time, like we have the phones covered from this till this time, and you can use that in your marketing message again. So this is the problem, the solution, and the marketing message. So the problem solution become your marketing message when you write a blog post, when you do a live, when you do an audio. You can actually do Facebook Live in just audios now. So this is something I just found out, which is kind of cool. Haven't tried it yet, but will do sometimes in the near future. So another one, my number 5, unprofessionalism. So basically you rock up in not the correct uniform, no logo, no badge, no like shorts, t-shirt, like very unprofessional. You have a plumber's crack. People and customers hate that. It's very unsexy. So, and you can talk about these as well. What solutions? You can show photos or videos of your team, your uniform, your van's nicely wrapped. Wrapping your van like with your logo and making it catchy is one of the cheapest forms of marketing long term if you're going to be in business for a while, because people will see that van driving around the area. And if you can combine that with sales funnels, so on the van you could have, like, instead of just saying go to your website, go to your website, get a free quote, not so great. You can say go to this domain, so this URL, and get a free save energy guide, or a free whatever you're kind of focusing. Give them not necessarily a free quote, but something free on your van. So that's part of the professional image that you want to create. The van I had was wrapped, and we had like a really cool logo design and everything, and I had customers comment on the van. So this is like huge. They're taking notice of the thing. It's your best marketing vehicle. You're driving it around all day, every day. It can generate you free leads. And if you use the lead magnet, which we'll cover in depth later on, but yeah, so that's kind of important. Looking professional. Now, number 6 is DIY, unlicensed electricians, this type of stuff. Basically, they don't know what they're doing. You want to say you're licensed, you're insured, you've got all these checkpoints that maybe people aren't aware of. And I'm going to be also covering this, like, before the electrician does the job, what do you need to check? Are they licensed? Do they have insurance? If shit goes bad, like, are you covered? Because there's lots of people doing dodgy work, and you know, anyone can essentially do electrical work, even though it's not recommended. 7, you pay for an electrician and the apprentice does the job. So I've had this complaint on jobs where I rocked up and they're like, the last guy, like, he quoted me like $1,000, and then he left the electrician to do the work. I paid for the tradesman. I paid for that electrical contractor to do this gig. Why is the apprentice, who I know is like cheap and probably not as good as the actual electrician? So this is something you want to, you want to advertise in a way that the electrician is doing the job, or break your quote up so they can see. I wouldn't break it up, that's probably not the best idea, but you want to explain that the electrician does the job, or at least they're on site and overseeing the job, not running away to do another job because they've managed it bad or whatever. So that's number 7. Number 8, extra charges and additional items that the customer didn't know about at the start. So if you say, hey, I'm going to install the PowerPoint for $200, and then they're like, at the end of the quote, it's $1,000, and you haven't informed the customer up front, this is a huge mistake. And just, not trustworthy, alarm bells, and you're like, oh, because I had to do X, Y, and Z. Well, did you ask the customer before this? These are the types of things you're like, before we change the price, even if you're doing hourly rate, you can say we do an hour and we let you know where we're at, what's happening, and our expectation of how long it will do to fault find and find the issue from where we are. So you keep the customer informed upon what's going on. I had one mate who was in a house and there was fault finding, and it took him like 8 hours to find the problem, and he was contacting the customer and they were getting stressed because like, what's going on, and they ended up finding a possum down the cavity wall that had bitten onto the electrical cable and basically short-circuited half the house. So he had to pull off the tin roof and just dig around. It took him basically all day to find this thing, but he just had to let the customer know what was going on. Then next up, we want to come back and we want to fix any work we've done. So if you do something and it breaks within the 12-month warranty period or whatever, go back, and if it's not your fault, you can explain that. But if it is, if you did something wrong, own up for it. So the main thing is go back and look at it and reassure the customer and look after them, because in the long run, the lifetime value of your customer is greater than the small fix you may have to do for that particular job. So these are my top 9. So I'll just run through them again. The top 9 things electricians do that customers hate: don't show up when they say they would, bad quality of workmanship, not doing what they said they'll do, not answering the phone, unprofessionalism, DIY, unlicensed electricians. 7, pay for an electrician and get an apprentice that does the job. 8, extra charges, additional items that the customers didn't know they know about at the start. 9, won't come back to fix their work. So if you agree or have any other points, come hit me up, let me know. This is something I'm going to be testing on findelectriciansnearme.com, and we're going to be seeing what the actual customers do and what they think. This is just one I came up with myself to do the research. However, the customers are hopefully going to engage and let me know what their problems are, and then I'm going to work with you guys to connect solutions to these problems and connect you to the customers, and we can go from there. So I hope that helps. Have any questions, please let me know. Thanks for tuning in and listening, guys. Now, if you want to join in on this conversation and see what we're doing as we develop sales funnels for electricians, head over to Facebook and go to Marketing Secrets for Electricians, and you should be able to find us there. Thanks.